for Campus Radio.
LCR. You're listening to LCR. LCR.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tea Time Talk. It is a lovely Saturday. It's not really lovely, but it's Saturday the 20th of January. We're currently, I'm guessing, about halfway through exam season. Welcome to the show. It is raining outside, so if you are planning on going inside, bring an umbrella and something warm. Yet again, thank you for listening in on the show. My name is Fritz. I am the host of the show, and let me tell you a little bit of what we do. If you're new to the show, what we do is we spend the first half talking about news of the week. Wow, I couldn't say that right. News of the week. What's happened in the week that is important or that we found significant. And then in the second half, we take a more chill sort of attitude. We tend to talk about things that have interested us, maybe in regards to news or just other things in general. Disclaimer, anything that is said on this radio show is not a reflection of the radio station or the university. It's just a group of friends having a chat. So if anything is said, it's us, nothing to do externally. And with that said, let me introduce my guest. So, welcome to Nezar.
Thank you for having me on again, Fritz.
You're very welcome. And also, welcome to Matt.
Hi, it's good to be back, but I just want to put out there, I love how you remember the disclaimer this week, but last week when it was most necessary, it was the week we didn't do one.
Yeah, last week's radio show was quite the bazinga, so
it was.
We will probably have to be reviewed for that, but we're still on the air.
Not cancelled yet.
We haven't been cancelled, which is good. That means they've given us a second chance. Someone is looking at us from the clouds above and saying, you know what, this show is actually kind of decent, so we'll survive another week. Right, so let's begin with news of the week. Pat, you have something you want to raise?
I do. I mean, as we try and avoid North Korea news because it happens every week, but then this week it's something a little bit better, I think, because the Olympics are coming up in the next 2 years, is it?
Yeah.
Yep, 2 years, and North Korea and South Korea are going to be represented as one nation at the games, which is insane when you consider that the countries are technically still at war. They're in a ceasefire. I've seen that, obviously it sounds like a good thing. It sounds like a good step towards peace, but then I've heard arguments against this, saying that they're just buying time against the new sanctions that are being brought in against them. So they're trying to save some face while they can plan the next move. But yeah, I think I want to know what you guys think. So I think it's a pretty cool turn of events.
No, I mean, it's pretty it's pretty progressive for the country, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe they're just teaming up for a common enemy, common goal, win the Olympics. I'm sure there's a lot of talented athletes in both countries. I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing this. It could be a small step to a better future for North Korea. Like one small step, because maybe more people say, hey, we did good in the Olympics. South Korea aren't that bad, are they? But then again, there's a lot of brainwashing in that country, so you never know.
I think the whole Korea thing, it's nice. It's nice to see. Well, I'd say nice, but it's something that, again, is kind of nice to see in a time where everyone is on edge with North Korea. Everyone doesn't really know what they want. Everyone is worried about what plans they've got, what they're going to use their weapons for, and it's a bit of an iffy zone because you have North Korea and South Korea who are still fighting against each other. Technically, you have America as being the big buddy, whatever you want to call it, and then you have the whole world sort of sidelined saying we don't want to get involved in this. We don't want a nuclear war. None of us want a nuclear war.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that North Korea is trying, or at least doing something, to get more involved in the international community, whether that be Olympics or whatever their future endeavors is. But I guess we will have to base a lot of what we see or a lot of what we presume about North Korea from how they behave at the Olympics. What worries me the most is when those North Korean Olympians come back to North Korea, because of course when they go to South Korea, they're going to get shown a whole new world filled with different races of people, people who are very sort of liberal about their behavior, people who have different haircuts, people who behave differently, say different things, different languages. They're going to get the full 100%. of the human race there. They're going to see black people, white people, every kind of person there. So it's going to be like when they go back to North Korea, of course they're not going to be allowed to say these things. They're not going to be allowed to praise and say that the outside world is magnificent, because that goes against the regime.
Well, you say this, but they're not 100% cut off. I mean, like, first of all, you have to consider who's going to be sent. They're going to be the North Koreans are only going to send people who are like very much in line with the national national narrative, but also like they're not like. I remember reading in 442, which is a football magazine that I get every month, that there is the Champions League in Europe, where teams from countries play against each other. Like club teams from each country plays against each other for the biggest club prize in football. In Asia, there's an equivalent of this, and club teams in North Korea compete in this, and they get teams from like Australia, New Zealand, other like. Asian nations, so they're not completely cut off. Then they do come into contact with people every so often, and especially seeing as it's not going to be normal people sent to Korea. But then also, it's just the thing about this is just it caught me completely like by surprise. Like at Rio, there was a gymnast who got into serious trouble in North Korea because she took a selfie with a South Korean gymnast, and now they're pairing up. It seems so inconceivable.
Well, it's because it was done outside of the North Korean approval.
Yeah, true.
If it's done outside of what's approved by the great supreme leader of
Snoke.
North Korea, there we go. Then then obviously they're going to be a bit worried about putting you on or letting you do whatever you want to do.
That's true.
I think while they will be in South Korea, North Korea will definitely be surveilling them as much as humanly possible.
The control's going to be tight.
And they'll have security and bodyguards that are North Korean enforcers. And it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I think for America this will be, oh hello, we have another villain compared to next to the Russians, because in Olympics America always have like Americans as the best, and then there's a villain like the opposite. It tends to either be Russians or it tends to be it'll probably be North Korea as a country now, or if it's going according to Donald Trump, it'll be every country. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes.
I heard the most ridiculous argument from the South Korean hockey coach as to why this shouldn't happen. Because he said, well, it's going to ruin South Korea's chance for a medal. because international priorities require South Korea to win a medal, don't they? In comparison to a massive step towards like positive relations.
I'm sure there's a lot of talented athletes in North Korea.
Yeah.
There's got to be loads in North Korea. I think it's a very militant country.
Yeah,
they're going to be fit at the very least.
Oh, you know the athletes are going to be involved in the military in some way as well, aren't they? So,
he probably has nothing to worry about. If anything, you never know. They might do better this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 100 meters where like there's one Korean person that shows up, and then they start the 100 meters, and everyone's just like, oh no, it's going to be the same, and then this Korean person just legs it.
No, but out there, they will definitely not qualify for the 100 meters finals. Like it's definitely is. Caribbean nations, America, some Europeans,
African.
Yeah, why did you leave out Africa?
Well, no, because they do better in the distance, don't they? I mean, you tend to see Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Britain, and America and Canada as represented nations in the finals of the 100 meters.
There's still Africans in there.
Well, but it's definitely a lot of people of African descent who are in those final races.
I guess you mean short distance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, long distance. Long distance is completely different.
Yeah. Because long distance is definitely a lot. There's a lot of Africans.
Yeah.
There.
Is that?
No, I think that's it for that. I think it's pretty cool news.
Well, that's fair. I guess if I'm allowed to, I'll bring up what I've found in the week this week. So, in this week, I've seen 2 counts of genuine racism compared to the H&M story of last week. I'll go easy. I'll go in with the first one, which is easy. So this surrounds UKIP, of course.
Oh yeah.
But this isn't about UKIP the party, it's about the head of UKIP and his on and off girlfriend, Jo Marnie, who had a conversation and basically started spewing racist slurs about Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm.
Like things such as she's black, she will taint the royal bloodline, She can't be right for just stuff I really don't want to read.
If anything, wasn't it? It's going to put some purity back into the bloodline of the royal family that's been tainted by generations of inbreeding.
Oh my! Oh gosh!
Boom!
Oh my!
Controversy. That's why we have the disclaimer. Sorry, carry on.
Continue.
So yeah, she's saying, Joe saying that, you know, she's American, she'll taint the bloodline, she's not right for the country. Then she tried to back it up. Then she tried to roll back on it by saying she's apologized, explaining she can't be racist because she likes black music.
Okay.
That's the best excuse for nothing I've ever heard since.
Okay. What counts as black music? Music produced by black artists or music aimed at black people?
Well, she likes Beyonce, so it means that it's fine. I don't
Beyonce,
think so.
I don't think is that black music.
No. I was about to say something. I was like, you have to. Yeah, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
She says, I don't hate black people. I love black music and black artists. Some of her favorites include Chuck Berry and James Brown.
That doesn't make her not racist.
That doesn't make her racist at all. So that's the easiest, that's the slight count of racism. Of course, she's been hacked off by the leader of the UKIP party. They've broken up. Probably going to get on again. On and off. She's a model, whatever. I don't want to take much consideration into her. The one that really got me angry this week, though, is from a sorority in America. And you can already imagine how that is going to go. So there was a young girl, a young 19-year-old girl. Her surname is Barbara. I'm not going to say her full name because that's probably private information, although it has been published online, so the story is out there. A sorority girl, 19 years, who was part of the sorority called Alpha Phi, and she, in two Instagram videos, went around. Well, in the first one, she was standing in front of a public bathroom. She turned off tap water, and she says so much like stuff about how she's helping Syrian migrant crisis by turning off the water. She loves how she's acting like she likes N-word, but she doesn't really like N-words.
Yeah.
And then she continues using that racial slur, and then when she finally does get called out on it, she uploads a second Instagram video, in which case she says that she's wanted to be in a sorority since high school. No one understands how much she loves the sorority, and now someone wants to give her S-word because she said N-word. You know what? N-word, 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 N-word. I don't care if it's Martin Luther King Day. N-word, N-word. I can say whatever I want. N-word, N-word.
Oh dear.
N-word, N-word. And I don't care what any of you say about me. Can say whatever I want. So then she says that, and then after, of course, the day before, she says, I feel horrible. I feel so bad, and I'm sorry. No, that's not
brilliant YouTube apology video.
They're the words of a publicist.
She's no longer part of that sorority. She's no longer part of that university. Thank goodness for that. The video is now posted online. Good luck finding a job, Mrs. Barber.
That's terrible.
Because I really hope that comes back to bite you.
The justification as well. Oh, I'm allowed to say it because I wanted to be in a sorority since I was a teenager. What people like? It's just the whole it's like a very like sororities and frats are like a very bro culture, even on the female side of it.
Right.
It's like it's entitlement that only comes with like youth and that kind of that attitude of like, we're a group of young people, we can do whatever we want without consequence. No, you have consequences. Like,
this certainly has.
You're a muppet, right? Yeah.
Nezar, what do you think?
It's stupid. It's again another stupid topic. Yeah. I feel like, you know how the word is definitely shouldn't be used in today's...
She was going hard R's, boy. Hard R's.
You know how the word shouldn't be used in today's society at all? I swear people just say it just because it's a taboo word, and like because a lot of people just, they want to be, nobody can tell me what to do. Yeah,
some people want to be really edgy and use it.
Exactly. It's stupid. People don't like the word. It's a word from the past that you don't want to bring up. Stop using it. And yes, that does make you racist, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say, I think there's no excuse for it. I wouldn't, there's no apology to be made. You uploaded that video, you came back with a response that was a million times worse. Worse than, no, I wouldn't say worse than Jake Paul, but worse. Terrible, just absolutely, people, you sit there and watch that video and then you just go like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable with this. And she I don't know what to say, because again, I want to be chill. I want to relax. I don't want to be mad. But when I see people like this and people like this, it's just like racism still exists in a very, very prominent form. And just thanks to people like her that we know that it still exists. And I'm just, to some extent, I'm glad she did it, because now we know that, you know, there are people out there that still have this sort of feeling. I can argue that she's intoxicated. You can say whatever, she was drunk. I don't care. She did it anyway. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have.
No, yeah.
There's no excuse for that.
There's no excuse. Like, I hate the drunk excuse, because, like, well, in court you wouldn't be let off with being drunk.
Exactly.
So apply the same kind of logic.
But she's gonna have a hard time finding a job now anyway, because she's definitely just. Oh God, that video.
There are so many other words you could use in any situation. It's like it's how casually it's used, like without any like understanding of meaning. And like that's a lot of the argument that people use about using. It's like, oh well, if we use it, it takes away its power and stuff like that. I'm like, it doesn't. There are words that you just don't say. Like they are outdated, and you need to get you can get them out of society.
Yeah, you know, it's in a lot of toxic communities, I'd say. Yeah. Especially on the internet, a lot of it, you know.
Not even just the internet, like a lot of well, not a lot, but like some university cultures just like roll around, you know, trying to push the boundaries of what's okay to say and what's not okay to do.
And it's like you can pass off as freedom of speech, and
but that's not freedom of speech.
It's really not. It's different. Yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd say it's more hate speech.
Yeah. And just
you know, because I always live by the logic. You can say what you want unless it gets to the point where it comes off as a hate crime.
But at what point does it come off as a hate crime?
When it starts to. Yeah, that's a good question, because obviously, if you say something that offends somebody, but it's not considered, you know, like offensive, but it just offends the person, that's okay, because that's more of a them problem. But if you're saying something universally, you know, despised as a word, then, you know, you can't do that, because that's hating on somebody the way they're born.
But then it becomes an issue of finding where that limit is, because if you can say if it's universally disliked, then it's not okay. But if there's a group or minority who think it's okay to say that, who live within amongst themselves and think that's okay, then does that mean that the external side of things should influence the minority side of things?
I mean, I've always hated the logic of like, well, when I grew up, I was allowed to say that. Cool, go to the real world. Like,
things change.
Yeah, it's like things change. It's like it was okay to say that where I lived. I've always hated that excuse. It's like, yeah,
you don't live there now.
Yeah, you don't live there now. Educate yourself.
You mean like the Tanner mongoose?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like when I grew up, I was allowed to say that. It's like, okay,
yeah,
it's
not okay now.
Yeah, you people. It wasn't okay then either. It's just that she just so happened to grow up around bad people who'd say stuff like that. It's ridiculous. As I said, I've always hated I'm allowed to say this because I grew up in a situation where I was allowed to say this, and it's like you can't always associate with what you grew up with society. That's just not how it works.
It's not acceptable, because there's a difference between, you know, societies clearly have different expectations of what your family or what your surroundings have. So it's
you know what? As I said, I am okay, you know, because as you brought up a good point, where does it stop becoming free speech and a hate crime? I think free speech is something that's relatively an opinion on something that, you know, you can help, something that can change, you know, people's views.
Definitely.
Stuff like hate crime is you're hating on something for somebody that they can't, you know,
they can't do anything about.
Yeah. Whether that's race, sexuality, disability, stuff like that. That's hate crime. You can't just go around saying I hate all people in wheelchairs.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Fritz, can I ask you, what do you think about black people saying it, using the word though?
Again, like I don't really. It depends. Okay, because to me, it's the way that it's used, the context to it.
Yeah,
that's what matters to me. So you see, like a lot of rap music that use it, like a lot of sort of, you know, black people in black music. A lot of rap music use it, and it's just like, okay, it's to make a point. It's not necessarily to have the racial connotation with it. Yeah, whereas there are cases where you straight up, like even black people use it. Like there will be cases where they'll straight up use the N word with the racial connotation, with the racial slur, hard ERs, going ham, doing it, and it's just like that. To me, is not okay. That's my viewpoint on it. Of course, that probably doesn't reflect a lot of other people's viewpoint on it, but I'm of the viewpoint that if it's not being used with the racial connotation, so for example, if someone is rapping about it in a song, then yeah, whatever. But if it's something like what PewDiePie did at one time, where he used it, where you could sense the anger in his voice as he was using it, then yeah, I'm not okay with that.
You know what this reminds me of? BBC Three, they on Facebook they share videos. There's a rapper, music DJ called Big Nasty.
Right.
Like he's a cool guy, and they do this thing where while he's getting a haircut, they ask him questions like sometimes they're really deep philosophical questions, sometimes like they're really basic stuff. And then one of them was whether he thought it was racist for white people to use a black emoji.
No,
it's not. and he was like, his response was like, white. Well, in his, I can't like do his voice because he's got his voice is mad. But he was like, are you mad for asking me that? What's even what even is that as a question? Yeah.
The BBC did a thing on that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Called digital blackface. Where there's like, oh, you know, white people can't use black emojis because that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, I've seen that video, and isn't it also? The way it starts is like, you know, they say how a lot of reaction pictures are
mostly
black, and they're like, that's racist, and it's like,
it's not racist. It's
not really, is it?
No, it has nothing. It's nothing to do with. It's just that what? So they're more expressive.
Yeah, they're pulling an expressive face that fits the situation of the conversation you're talking about.
Does that mean that I can't use an emoji from Joey from Friends where he's expressing something because he's white or Hispanic?
Stupid.
Like it's not it's people looking for racism in a place where there is no racism, which again is, you're right though. Like to me, it's just people looking for issues of racism where there is no racism. Wow. Okay. I just got sent a black emoji, so that's clearly cultural appropriation.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Going back to the use of because you asked his opinion on black people using it, and I definitely, like, maybe I can't say because I'm not, but I definitely agree with that. You shouldn't use in the racist with, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is the reason. I'm going to sound like a bit of and I don't consider myself like a social justice warrior at all.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Oh, also disclaimer. Fritz is black, so that's why I asked him. Like, not.
I'm not a big social justice warrior guy. I'm not a guy to get easily offended by that. But the thing I've always defended is, like, I've hated the double standards argument. If black people can use it, why can't white people? And it's like, okay, you didn't have to go through history as, like, you know, like, your people didn't have to go through history as, like, you know, being, I hate to say the word because it's overused and overplayed, but oppressed, you know. Like, if it was the opposite situation and there was a word for white people, which probably is, and, you know, they were saying it all the time, that'd be okay because, you know, they become, you know, there's a situation, in this specific situation, I can't see the double standards argument because you didn't. Obviously, now you can't say, you know, modern black people obviously didn't go through that, but through history, they didn't go through the same thing. They didn't suffer the same way.
Yeah.
I've always hated the double standards argument about that word, and it's a really big pet peeve with me. That's just, you know, something that sets me off a lot. Never liked it.
Okay, of course that's a fair point, and because I see that point as well, and I find this conflicting because there's the argument of one group can use it, why can't the other? Again, my view is if you're using it with your friends or something that's like in a group chat or with your homies or something that you're all okay with, doesn't matter if they're white, black or Hispanic, it's cool.
I'm usually okay with that too. But again, to say that all because one of your black friends will like it doesn't mean you can say it to
No, of course not.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I'd call it, say it to any of my friends, but I wouldn't say it to you. I wouldn't say it to Trey either. I wouldn't say it to anyone.
No,
exactly.
But there are people that, of course, would say it because they think it's funny or because it depends on the person. This is a personalized issue.
Yeah.
Like, if one person's okay with it, another might not. It doesn't need to be like a dating. I don't know if it needs to be like a dating question thing where it's like, oh, if I date you, are you okay with the N-word being used in conversations? No, but it's a personalized issue. You when you meet people, it's when you get along with people, when you meet new people, it's kind of something you have to find out. You have to find where the level is, where the group, where the position is, where they're okay with something or where they're not okay with something. Just like any other thing that we have to find out with other people. Some people are okay with it, some people aren't. You have to respect that. It's chill. That's how we're supposed to do things.
Yeah.
What about iDubbbz then?
What about him?
He uses it.
iDubbbz uses it, but again, he doesn't use it with the racial connotation. He desensitizes it. He says all of it is okay or none of it's okay. He tries to use the word to desensitize it to make sure that we're moving beyond that sort of the racial focus of it. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it because he wants to be edgy. He does it because he's comfortable with it, and he does it because he wants to. He doesn't think of the racial connotation in the slightest. I'm not trying. I'm not defending iDubbbz. I'm not attacking him either. This is just what he said himself. He just tries to. He doesn't want that connotation to it.
Preferably, I'd rather him not. Also,
me too.
all because you can like an internet personality doesn't mean you'd want to be mates with them in real life. I think his whole entire friend group is toxic.
He probably doesn't use that word in real life, though. Does he?
Probably not. Probably
outside of the internet persona.
Yeah, probably not. But like, it seems like his entire friend group is, like that meme culture group. iDubbbz.
Yeah, who's like?
Well, I mean, he hangs out with Filthy Frank.
Max Mofo.
Yeah. That does not seem like a good group to hang out.
It's weird people. Weird people.
Seems like a bit of a toxic community.
Great YouTubers, weird people.
But there's that side of the whole issue regarding the use of the N-word, as we've intelligently discussed with our
somewhat intelligently.
Again, it's like, it's I guess that's the biggest example, but like it's just like for any description of any race, you shouldn't call them by their offensive words.
If you can't think of anything better to describe someone, then refer to their race. Then
whether that's I'm sure. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a racist slur for Asians or, Arabs or stuff like that.
That's like going through my checklist in my head of words that that you can't say. I'm like,
exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy that the world we live in today. It's obviously just shoved that the black one's obviously probably the biggest deal because we get that in America and to a lesser extent here.
Yeah.
But definitely big in America, I'd say.
Right, let's move it on to the next big topic. Something that we were joking about last week, but it's actually become so serious that it's become a problem. Tide Pods. Tide Pods, people are eating them, and it's ending them up in hospital.
It started as a joke, it's no longer a joke.
It's gotten to the point where YouTubers are doing it. One YouTuber's done it. It's getting serious. The US have suddenly started doing what's it called, endorsements with celebrities or military people saying don't do it, don't actually eat a Tide Pod. People are getting sick and putting into hospital. I think there's over 40 counts in the US alone, which is bad considering that's normally not that high, or not that high so soon in the year. And I just want to know your opinion on what do you think of the Tide Pod challenge?
It's all.
Actually, hold on. Let me put. So, if you don't know what a Tide Pod is, it's the laundry detergent. You know the laundry pods, the laundry capsules that we put that has the liquids in them, the white, the blue, the green. Well, in America, this one is white, blue, and yellow or orange.
No, white, blue, and red.
What, Tide Pod?
No, it's white, blue, and orange, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, white, blue, and orange.
Sorry, yeah.
So, and people have mistaken these. Well, it started out with some people mistaking these for sweets. So some people put them in the mouth. Took a bite and got poisoned. I don't think anyone's died as of it yet, but that remains to be confirmed. So some people took a bite, then it became a meme. People started drawing fan art from it, and then more people started getting into it, and now we're seeing teenagers from the age of 14 up to 19 tucking into Tide Pods and ending up in hospital. So again, just to relay the question, what is your opinion on the Tide Pod challenge? Nezar, you had something to say.
Well, I mean, it wasn't going to be positive, was it? Stupid, isn't it? It's like I can't like understand it at all unless these kids or teenagers are flat suicidal. I don't understand it. I didn't find, when the Tide Pods thing first came out, I didn't get it, and then I started to find it a bit funny, and then when I realized that it was actually affecting people, I was like, alright, this is crazy. I can't believe so many people have been eating Tide Pods of all things. Stupid, isn't it?
It's you have to question why people do it. It's what goes on in your head that you think it's fun to, or it's going to be it's going to be fun to put something that is dangerous in your mouth.
I think they just want internet fame, don't they?
Yeah, but the internet fame is not worth
it's not.
A good week or two in hospital, is it?
Doing it for the gram.
Doing it for the
Gram. Instagram.
Oh, I see.
Do it for the Vine, do it for the gram. Yeah.
It's
Lethal Bizzle lyrics. Right there.
I don't know, but at the very least, this is odd. This is weird to say, but it's not like. I think people are kind of aware that it's like, okay, this is getting stupid. Like, I don't think it's going to influence like very little kids or anything like that to do it. That's just my opinion, though.
If you are a parent and you have kids that have like, if you are a parent in any way, shape or form, and you have laundry detergents, keep them away from your kids. Heck, keep them away from your 14 to 19-year-old adolescents in case they want to eat it. Okay, we have Ariel or whatever we have over here. I don't know what they're called.
Oh, there are many.
We have those. Just stock them away. They do not look like sweets. They are a laundry detergent. Do not put them in your mouth.
Hey man, kids are crafty. They'll find a way to get it.
The thing is, the thing with the kids as well. Like, I'm not talking about teenagers. I'm talking about like young kids. Like, they don't even need like the internet meme to go and eat them. If they had access to them, they would be eating them anyway.
But now that the internet meme is around, they're more likely to eat them.
Well, I don't think teenagers are at that point, aren't they? Because teenagers are dumb. In general.
I love how we're talking like we're not practically. Wait, we're adolescents now, aren't we? We're not teenagers.
No,
we're all 21.
Young adults, I'd say.
Young adults.
We're all old men, rather.
I mean, I was born into my 40s, so.
I wasn't much far behind.
That's what everyone's always said to me. Like, you were born 40 years old. I'm like,
ouch, sauce boss.
The creaking joints.
But I don't think we're not teenagers anymore.
No,
does it stop at 20 or what?
Yeah.
Teenagers stops at 19, mate.
And then we become adolescents.
I was going to put it out there. Teenagers are called teenagers because the words end in teen.
True, but I'd say the
head.
character of teenagers ends at like 17.
Ooh, no.
I'd say 18 and 19 is like...
Depends on what your life choices you make.
Yeah, I suppose, because it can be...
You can't compare a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old. You just can't.
No, that's true.
They are nothing alike.
They're both the same online, though. Shouting things at you.
I mean, you're right. You're probably right, mate. Online, you'll get like 30-year-olds shouting at you, so...
But again, going back to the whole typo thing, it's ridiculous.
It's very strange.
It's so what has to go through their mind to think that internet fame is worth it? It's not like the Nintendo cartridge licking thing where they're like, oh, the Nintendo cartridge is sour and therefore lick it. It didn't poison you. It didn't do anything. That one, fine. Everyone could do that one. But this one has... People know that you're not supposed to eat laundry detergent. It's meant to wash your clothes, not your stomach. And even then, it'll wash it away.
It's like, I think it's justifiable if you're already like a big YouTube name doing it for the clickbait.
No,
like there was like those guys who like cemented one of their heads in a microwave.
Oh, TGF bro.
Yeah, like you can see them doing it, and like they're kind of justified because they've got like it's They didn't need a Tide Pod. No, but if they were to do it, it's understandable because it's literally just it's a characteristic of their like whole thing that they do that kind of thing. But if like it's not there are no benefits if you're like a net nobody, like not the YouTuber net nobody, but if you're not already a personality online, you are like. There's no benefit to doing it because you're not going to, like, even if you get semi-famous, it's not going to be like the benefits of that aren't going to last and you're going to end up in hospital. Whereas it's just like, if you're a big YouTuber, it's another payday, isn't it, doing something stupid like that?
Yeah, but it trickles down, man. people start doing it themselves. One YouTuber does it, everyone does it. It's just not necessary. I don't understand it. Again, at least the fun out is good. At least the fun out of Tide Pods is good. The memes are quality, and the search for Tide Pods has gone up. Oh yeah, and the other side effect of this, businesses have taken advantage of this and have now started creating Tide Pod related food, cakes in the form of Tide Pods, snacks in the form of Tide Pods, donuts in the form of Tide Pods. Yes, it's all over the place. So not even though the media's, or not even the media, even though the government is trying to stop people from doing it, the private sector is now just publicly like, hey, enjoy it. Why not get a part of the meme? You do the meme, we do the meme. Everybody's a part of the meme. How y'all doing?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Welcome to 2018. We started it with a bang.
Business.
We started it with a suicide in a Japanese forest, and we're going to end it on freaking... Well, not even going to end it yet.
It's only the beginning of the year, mate.
I can't wait for whatever meme comes next then.
They get more and more.
They get
bizarre.
progressive.
More and more suicidal.
Like, it's moved on from gorillas in zoos in Cincinnati
Hashtag
to
never forget Harambe.
never forget to people actively seeing people have killed themselves and trying to kill themselves. It's bizarre world that we live in.
North Korea doesn't need to drop a nuke on America. It's practically doing it by itself by creating memes.
Yeah. So the North Koreans have Tide Pods. Oh no, it's going down a dark. This episode's going down a dark path again.
No. We've got it. We've still got got some control.
We've been good so far. Like,
Good.
some nice
Relatively.
debate.
We've
Yeah,
been chill.
better than last week.
Yeah, well, I think anything we did is
By
better.
different standards. Last week was hilarious, but like this is more professional.
So,
What else we got?
well, has anyone else got anything?
I got nothing to say, mate.
Nothing.
No.
Because the big news items that have happened are things that we want to kind of try to avoid, isn't it?
Okay,
it's
hold
the
on,
usual
hold on,
stuff,
hold
isn't
on.
it?
Yeah, it's
Hold
the
on
usual.
1 second.
Yeah, the government shut down in America.
Yeah, the government is shutting down because they couldn't agree on a vote regarding. what was
Okay,
it?
I got a new story for you.
Go on.
Listener requested. Let's go
wow.
back to racism here.
Oh,
Is it Trey?
No.
Oh.
who's it?
They will remain anonymous for now.
Okay.
Okay.
But let's just say they got a juicy topic.
I know who it is.
It's racism again. Going back to racism. So basically, an Irish traveller, Olympic gold medal winner in boxing, could not join in the home celebration because in Ireland they have a bit of a thing against travellers specifically. If you don't know, travellers are gypsies.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an Olympic gold medal winner. That's the thing for the country. But they wouldn't let him into the pub home celebration because he's a traveller. What do you think about that? He's representing the country. He's clearly a patriot to some degree. What do you think about that?
This is you, Matt. This is all you.
Juicy story, isn't it?
That's a difficult one. Because like straight off the bat, you're like, yeah, he's a person.
Yeah.
He should be allowed where he wants to go. But then that traveller culture causes a lot of trouble.
Watch what you say. That's very,
Yeah. Like in general, it can be a source of great trouble for because they don't stay in fixed places, and so when they do turn up somewhere, it can be like a whirlwind of like not mayhem, but like it's a big strain on.
That's speaking about gypsies in general, not somebody who won the gold Olympic medal in boxing for the country.
So I can see why this place has the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily right to have the rule because it's
No,
like,
of course not.
but I can understand why it's there, but at the same time, just I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, no. Like you should let the travellers into your establishment anyway. Like,
Yeah, no, he was already settled into the community. That's the thing.
that's ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong. I can understand if it was a case where they were kept on moving, causing mayhem for the people, that'd be bad. But this is a man who would settle in the community and he's fine. He's getting judged because he is a traveller. Let's remember, traveller community today isn't necessarily the same as it was 50, 60 something years ago. They're very different. They might as well be part of the society there, because that difference between the Irish and the travellers is going to start getting to a point where it's like there's less and less and less, and it's just they've settled into the community.
And they're a huge cultural group as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is their heritage.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Also, as from my knowledge, the ones in Ireland don't tend to travel outside of the country much, so they might as well be part. I don't know. I've personally, you can say what you want, obviously, if they were causing a thing, but a professional athlete boxer not allowed back in the pub? Come on. It's ridiculous. Stupid.
it is, yeah.
I mean, do you have something to say? You feel like you're refraining from saying something.
No, I'm trying to organise my thoughts.
He's
Like,
trying to properly articulate himself.
There's no
if
reason.
you hate gypsies, just come
No,
out.
I don't. I like. There's also at the same time like the plot of the movie Snatch is playing through my head because Brad Pitt plays a gypsy boxer in that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Great film. I mean,
Matt, the cultural reference guy.
it's a complete Pulp Fiction knockoff, but like it's still a good film on its own. But yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't be allowed in. Like,
I mean,
whether he's a gold medal winning athlete or not, he's just a person.
Yeah,
I think because he's part of the community already, he should be fine.
But I mean, it's an ongoing problem in Ireland in general, because like a lot of the time they won't give jobs to people who have that kind of background.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, it's not on the same scale of because it's not colour. So obviously, a lot of people aren't drawing attention to
It's
it.
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's lifestyle, it's background, and but the fact that they're not doing it, giving jobs. To me personally, if it was someone who were rowdy and they were causing trouble, yeah, I'd agree. Don't. If it's somebody who's looking for a job just because they want to work and support their family, why don't they deserve it? Why does somebody, that's modern racism in a country like Ireland, which is to us England, basically next door to us, essentially, and it's like happening. It's crazy. It's just
they assume because a person's a traveller from a traveller background that they're going to cause trouble. Surely, sure, this is why you have bouncers in your pub or whatever you did, because it's literally. Why let them in? If an individual causes trouble, traveller or not, then they get thrown out.
Yeah, of course they should be treated. They should be treated the same.
Exactly
if they were being rowdy and they were in trouble and they were hating on the Irish there, of course they shouldn't be allowed.
In the same way, if the Irish,
exactly. If the Irish was going down to the travellers and causing trouble there, you should, it should work both ways. It's ridiculous that it's that's something that's happened, but. I just want to get that story out there.
Yeah, and of course, very not very publicised, is it? That stuff like that, because
it doesn't usually go much public. It was a pretty minor story.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just remembered a story.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this one, really made me angry.
All
so in America, recently there was an arrest. Sorry to interrupt, Nezar.
Nah, I'm done with the story anyway.
Oh, okay, sorry to interrupt. So in America recently, 2 parents were arrested. David and Louise Turpin were arrested for holding their 13 children, tying up their 13 children in a house, malnourishing them and mistreating them for, I'm pretty sure, over 19 years.
Yeah. Well, one of the children is 29 years old.
Yeah.
And
these children were being abused. They according to some of the descriptions, they were only allowed to take a shower once a year. They were shackled to their beds. Toilet, I don't even know what in regards to toilet breaks or how they were treated in regards to that.
Is what I've read.
There's psychologically, of course, it's going to be damaging. I don't know if they'll be able to reintegrate into society. I don't know why it took so long for them to be found. I don't. Well,
it's because they weren't reported until one of the children escaped, didn't they?
Yeah, one of the children called and said that they were being abused. Yeah.
So it's like the police don't just investigate random people for no reason. If no one calls in about it, I mean, the only thing that neighbours have said is that they thought it was weird that they never saw the children, but it's bad, isn't it?
It's a sickening case. It's
really?
Because these children have now, so they've been taken in. They were malnourished. They were so sick. Some of them were ill. They were bony to the bone. And I want to know your opinion on it. What do you think about this whole thing? So Nezar, what do you think?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Crazy that somebody could be put in that kind of living condition. Horrible, genuinely. I didn't even know. When you hear people starve to death,
right?
You don't really hear about it in 2018, do you? And then when you hear about it, you're like, wow, I can't believe people today are still starving to death.
Unless they're not part of the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah. It's crazy. Don't have much to say, honestly, besides that. It's a terrible thing.
No, that's fair. I just wanted to raise it up because that was one of the stories that I was looking over throughout the week, and I kind of forgot about it until now. But it just made me feel really sickly that these people treated their children so badly. It's because these were their children, and yet they just.
Well, you just know they're not as the parents, because I read that when the police came to the house, the mother let them in. Because she didn't know, she had no comprehension that anything there was wrong. She thought it was completely normal. She thought it was completely just actions.
Again,
and then the second thing about it, because it was in California, but they used to live in Texas, wasn't it?
Yep.
Apparently, when they were in Texas, there were 2 houses. One that the children lived in, and the parents would stop in every couple of days to drop some food off. Not a lot of food ever, but they were just left to it.
Right.
And there's also the dad is supposedly registered as a principal of
A school.
a home
taught school. Yes.
Yeah, it was like was that supposedly at the house? Was it the children who were supposedly enrolled in this?
I'm supposing so. Yes, I'm gonna suppose so.
It's like. I feel like background checks need. I mean, no, because it's not even a background check, isn't it? Because there's no previous conviction. So, and it's just if anything, it's just sad, isn't it? Because there's no reason why these people would have been investigated beforehand. Because unless the police hear about it, they can't do anything.
Mm.
So. It's just sad that it took so long for something to happen about it, but there's nothing else that could have been done.
But we are of course glad that the children are now safe and found.
100%.
Of course, we are worried about their future and the mental stability because of this. Because some of them are found to have nerve damage or brain damage. Brain damage because of they have issues within psychologically, mentally, physically. I just wanted to raise this story up, I suppose, because it's something that if you have children, hold them tight, hold them close. Appreciate your children. They might be a little snobby or a little snooty, but hey, appreciate your children. That's all I could say. Right, I think it's a good time for us to take a break.
On that depressing note.
We'll be back with some more light-hearted stuff. Oh wow, that sounded out of context. But yes, thank you for listening for the first half, and we will be back in a bit, and we'll see you then.
Loughborough Campus Radio. LCR. Loughborough Campus Radio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second half of Tea Time Talk. Now, just a bit of background check. The second half is where we talk about things that interest us in general, or just random topics in general. Anything really, as long as it doesn't cross the international or break any Geneva conventions. It's all calm and cool. Right. So let's take it away. Who wants to start us off with a topic of their choosing?
It's you, isn't it?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the big thing for me this week that I've been interested in is the new Nintendo Labo. Because, I like Nintendo stuff, of course. So if you don't know what Nintendo Labo is, Nintendo have decided to take the Switch and combine it with cardboard. So this is mainly aimed at children, disclaimer there, mainly aimed at children and children at heart, as they put it. The aim of this is that you buy a game and a board. For those who have seen the advert and didn't get it, the game does come with the box, so there is a game in the box because you're not going to pay £60 for cardboard. So what they're doing here is they're trying to get parents and their children to build a kit together and play games using the Switch and the cardboard. So you can do fishing, you can do a piano, you can create a house from the cardboard, you can do motorcycling. There is a robot one as well. There's a one where you build a robot suit out of cardboard, which costs about $70 that costs $80, which would be about £70. But yeah, it's sort of an intricate thing that's trying to get children to be more sort of engineering, techie, and get parents to engage more in their children. And I just wanted to ask, what are your opinions on this? Does this sound cool to you? Like something you want to get, or what?
Well, first of all, I was going to tell anyone who's listening who doesn't know what a Switch is, like a hybrid games console where it's handheld, but you can also play as like a traditional games console. Yep. That's out of the way. And I didn't you've described these to me before. These cardboard things, and it wasn't like that. This is the first time I've heard about them. I'm like, you know what, I can kind of get it. They come with the game? They come with like a computer with a video game?
Yes.
I kind of get it. I understand what they're doing. Does it make the game pricier, the video game?
Doesn't make it pricier, no. It's linked because a lot of people were confused at first. They thought that you were only getting cardboard for $60.
Yeah.
Or £60,
which is what I thought. That's how you've described it to me before.
Yeah, but the game does come in there. So towards the end of the thing, there is an actual game box right next to the actual box of the cardboard. It's normal £60 price tag. Again, it's a £60 game. Some people are complaining that it's too pricey. Some people are worried because the last thing that Nintendo tried to pull with this that was sort of focusing on how to use the system was 1-2 Switch. And that game was
horrendous,
to say the least. It's currently like people don't want to buy because that game is actually overpriced. It didn't really feel like it wasn't comparable to like the Nintendo Land. It was bad. It was terrible. It was like 30 mini games where you could like shake a bottle or something, or you could milk a cow, or you could attack each other with like hypothetical swords.
Very questionable hand movements.
Very questionable. Yeah,
is what this game produces essentially.
Yep. It was the meme of how to milk the cow without looking seductive while doing it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go back onto the cardboard thing.
Yes.
Like, if it comes with a game and it's not more expensive, I think it's like a cute like add-on thing they can do. Especially if you're like a small child, like. You can do it with your parents. That's kind of cool. I'm more on board with it than I was like an hour ago when we were talking about it. But
my only problem with this is since it's made of the cardboard, it's going to get easily destroyed.
Well, I don't think it's the point of like keeping it. I think it's more the point of like having something like tactile to do.
Yeah.
Like it's like older generations are always like, oh, do something more productive with your time than play video games. Like do something like that actually like has a physical aspect to it.
Yeah, and now you can be physical and still play video games.
Exactly. So I think I don't have the Switch. I'm not going to get the games, but it's kind of cool.
What about you, Nezar?
I don't like the idea of it, to be honest.
Why not?
I just it seems like a bit of a stretch for Nintendo to price it as highly as it is, coming with games or not.
So your problem is the pricing point then?
60 quid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Look, mate, at the end of the day, they're selling cardboard.
With a game?
With a game, but still. It's like a collection of mini-games, right?
So what's the difference between them selling a game with cardboard and Sony selling you a game for £60?
Well, I imagine the game... It depends on the game being sold in question, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because, as I said, if it's a collection of mini-games, that's not worth it. 1-2 Switch was not worth the price.
No. 100% no.
It's gonna be a similar thing, mate. It's
like
cardboard.
Again, that depends on whether the game is actually like built properly and it's more engaging than
it's not even just that. It's like you can buy AAA titles for 60 quid. I mean, obviously you have to pay for the DLC like 2 days later when the game comes broken.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, but any game released in the last 2 years.
But especially Destiny 2.
Yeah. So like you're right. For mini games, the price is way too high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't see the appeal in it. That's just me personally. I wouldn't get it.
No, but are you their target audience?
No, he isn't.
No.
I wouldn't get it either.
Neither were Amiibos, right?
No.
They sold to a lot of adults, and a lot of adults are going to buy the Nintendo Labo just because.
I'm interested to see where it goes though, because of course appeals to children, appeals to the hardcore fans that want to try something out. My key thing in this is that it's innovation. It's Nintendo trying things again. It's the most Nintendo thing they've done since the Switch itself. I look at that thing and I think, okay, I couldn't imagine Sony or Microsoft trying to sell you cardboard. Unless they're trying to sell you a brand new Xbox One or a PS4 in a box.
That's because the Nintendo fanboys are a.
Are you calling me a Nintendo fanboy?
Oh, no, because you're not gonna. No, I wasn't. Not necessarily, because like obviously you said you wouldn't buy it.
You're the biggest one of us three.
Oh yeah, fully. But
yeah.
Like you're not on the level of people that I'm talking about. Like,
I'd probably be like ranked second. How big a Nintendo fan are you?
Oh,
who's the head of Nintendo?
I know this.
Iwata just died.
No, not Iwata. It's Yoshikawa.
That's what I said. I said Iwata just died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the one. I mean,
Nintendo America.
Oh my god, I hate to be that guy that talks about Iwata's death because it's a very tragic thing. But I think Iwata was holding that company back from greatness. Personally, I think he was too old-fashioned. I think the fact that they got a new director on board is a good thing because, like,
the development of mobile apps, the more sort of outwards going, the theme park building. Yeah, no, Nintendo's been a hell of a lot more outgoing.
No, I hate to be that guy because I love Iwata. Apparently, he was the coolest guy. Apparently, even when he was like head of the company, he'd still go down to like where they made games and like help with because he had to work his way. Yeah,
he was a programmer.
He'd help with the programming and stuff. Even though he had bigger stuff to do, he was a nice guy, but he was too old-fashioned, and I think he was holding the company back. Remember when he was in charge, the Wii U happened, and that was the Nintendo's lowest point. And then as soon as he's gone, the Switch happened, and it's selling on the same trajectory.
You can't say after he was gone, the Switch. He was part of the planning process for the Switch.
I guess so, but as I said, I don't know, like, if he was in any way behind the marketing of the Wii U or anything like that, or just in general, like the Wii U's thing, like Nintendo, whilst in his last few years, was a drought of a company. And I only picked it coincidentally, maybe the timing's just too perfect. Don't you think? Nintendo's really picked themselves up recently, and it's been after.
I think Nintendo's picked themselves up in regards to advertising and marketing, but in regards to games, they still made good games for the Wii U.
I'm
The
positive.
Wii U as a system did not sell well,
Yeah.
but the games they made were still solid, which is why so many of them are being ported to the Switch.
I'm sure that's the case, but
Nintendo didn't have a bad spot; they just had bad sales and bad marketing
that's bad though for a game company.
and bad sales.
That's bad for a game company though.
But the games they made were still quality. Anyway, Matt, what were you actually going to say? Matt?
Yeah, there's a name that's.
He's trying to figure out the
No,
name.
no, there's a name that's ringing about my head. Hitoshi Tajiri, is that someone?
No.
That is some. Yeah, that's a name I know, and there's no reason. There's not a reason why I'd know a Japanese name unless there was someone.
What? Say that name
might-
again?
is
Is it
it-
a football player?
No. It might be something to do with Pokemon. Is it Satoshi or Hitoshi Tajiri?
Satoshi is Ash Ketchum in Japan.
1 second. I'm
quite a name,
gonna Google it.
Okay, anyway, so the Nintendo Labo is a thing.
Oh yeah, wait, 1 second. Satoshi Tajiri. Video game designer, best known as creator of the Pokemon franchise. That's okay. So I'm off on one, but I'm.
It's close. I mean,
Yeah.
but
It's
not
as close as I want to get. I've played Pokemon religiously, well, until Generation. I haven't played any Generation 6 or 7, but
we are descending further into nerddom than we ever thought we'd get.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I like Mario Kart. Never really played any of the Mario games, but
Oh god, let's not talk about Mario Kart. It gets
Yeah.
abysmal when we talk about Mario Kart because us three are like, okay, we three are the Mario Karters of our of our generation right now. In our hall we
play a lot.
we play it quite frequently, and it ends up becoming the saltiest things.
Yeah,
Like you've seen Smash Bros tournaments, throw that out the window. We are saltier than the Smash Bros tournaments that they put on there.
Yeah.
Things get thrown, like
fair,
words get shot.
I don't get angry at you guys. I think I get more angry at just at the game system in general. It's like
I get angry at you, Matt.
I get
yeah.
angry at you, Matt, as well.
I'm not a nice guy to play against. Like, because there are certain things in the game that annoy Fritz, like in a serious way, and I do them on purpose. Not because it annoys him, because I like them. Like there's the horn thing that you can do.
Yep.
And I spam that button so hard.
And it emotionally damages my ears.
And then there's like.
Well, I mean, that has no effect on the gameplay though.
No, but then there's the fact that like of the three of us, Fritz wins like every single 90% of the races. So then after that, it's just me and Nezar like tanking it out.
I don't always
And
win.
it's
I just
close.
stay in the upper percentile of things.
It's close and it gets ragey.
Anyway, moving on from that. So yeah, to me, it's looking like it's the most Nintendo thing that they've done to Labo. I'm looking forward to how it will be. I'm looking forward to see if it will sell well. My main issue will probably be the games. Are the games substantial enough to carry the console and to be worth the $60 price tag? And then we'll just see where things go from there. But I like it. I like the idea of it. I like the concept behind it. I'm not gonna get it.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree, mate.
What, you don't like it?
No.
No, that's fine. That's clear.
This is probably our only disagreement we've had on the show.
Apart from food.
Yeah, apart from food. You know what? I'm open-minded about it though. You know, if it's good, I'll come on the show next week. A few weeks down the line, I'll admit I'm wrong. I don't mind admitting I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, especially about Nintendo. It's a company I root for because I want them to do well in a world where they probably struggle the most from trying to stand out.
In a world filled with stagnation, one company shall save the
Yeah.
whole sphere by printing cardboard.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That's why I'm saying I want them to do well, and I just don't know if this is going to be the thing that takes them, you know.
Let's see how things go.
Yeah, let's see how things go.
2018.
I mean, the Nintendo Switch is already selling on the same trajectory as the Wii, so if that's the case, then it's going to do brilliant. Nintendo's
Yeah.
going to be fine.
Let's see how things go. You
It's a
know,
good console.
It's 2018. Everything's possible.
On a side note, how do you feel about them like combining handheld and console together? Because I've heard development for the 3DS, all the developers for the 3DS basically
Jumped.
are jumping to the Switch now. How do you feel like that's gonna? I don't know if that's a wise decision personally. I think they should have done both personally.
They are trying. Nintendo are still trying to do both. They haven't
Yeah,
said they're
but-
cancelling the 3DS.
Eventually, it's gonna have to go because so many developers for the 3DS. You know that they're making the next Pokemon game is gonna be Switch.
Yep.
The next Ace Attorney game.
That'd
All
be
these
cool,
handheld
that.
games are gonna
Yeah.
be Switch. So
It's
you know.
cool. I think I like having like a hybrid system type thing.
I mean, I like the idea of it. Don't get me wrong; it's a great idea to have a powerful console
Yeah.
as a handheld. But the thing is, it also
Too
doesn't.
big.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not big at all.
It's not too. I'd carry it in public.
Yeah, I could carry. If I put that in my backpack, it's good.
My
Solid.
problem is they need to fix the battery life on that thing.
You can buy the portable chargers.
I think
you shouldn't have to buy a portable charger. It should be like you should have a good battery.
Well, you have to understand this is again a hybrid. It's Nintendo, so they're definitely going to release a Switch 2.0 at some point.
Yeah, no. But it's just the thing that you use the 3DS because the battery life on that was pretty good.
Yeah,
and it's like, I mean, granted, at the same time, how often do you play games outside? I guess.
I don't know what the outside is.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. So would you be playing the Switch for more than 3 hours anyway?
For me, there are times when I would, especially when I'm traveling.
Travel. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Traveling is the best time to play the Switch. If I'm on the plane, I put the Switch on. I play the Switch. If I'm sitting on a coach, a 2-hour coach ride that triggers me. But yeah, 2-hour coach ride. I'll play the Switch, and it makes the time go by because it's quite a fun thing to do. And I love both the handheld and the console side of it because the handheld side is obviously for when I'm traveling. When I finally get to my destination or get home, if I'm with my parents, I'll be like, Mum, put the Switch in the console thing. We're playing Super Mario Odyssey.
I mean, I love it. I think it's very handy. I love the fact that we have a powerful console that you can just carry around.
Some people are saying it's not powerful enough, though. Again,
I mean, it's weird because Nintendo have always been like the least powerful, but at the same time, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, well, I can have a game look great like Destiny 2, but there's no substance in those kind of games.
That's exactly it. I don't care about how powerful a console is. I just care about the quality of the content that comes out for it.
Yeah.
If the material that comes out for it is wonderful, I do not care about the power. If it runs at a smooth, if they can maintain it smoothly, they can run it and put content in it, then that's what matters.
Mate, that's why I've dismissed Xbox altogether.
Yeah.
To be honest, because the 360 might have had a good first party library, but the Xbox One is a very powerful console, but it has nothing exclusive for it, so there's really no point in getting it, in my opinion.
I don't really care about 4K graphics or 4K TVs. I don't want to buy a 4K graphic. I'm content with what I've got. I will buy what I can afford, and I will get what I want. And if you're not producing the content if you're not producing the quality that I want, I'm not going to go for it. It's why I've been persuaded mostly away from PlayStation and Xbox completely, because I think I've said this before, but when I first got my PS4, I was looking through like the catalog of games to get, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to get any of these games because one, most of them require online and always maintaining an online connection, which in many cases I don't have. If I go to Africa, I can't play a certain game because I don't have online, so that sucks. Two, a lot of these games have quality issues. They just like they have glitches, graphical issues, or a lot of other issues. And the third part, which I'm trying to remember, is that the company behind them just doesn't have a nice rumor, or they're forcing microtransactions into the game.
EA.
I mean, when did you get your PS4, mate?
I got it I think beginning of second year last year.
So what would that have been? 2015, 2016?
Yeah, I guess
2016, 17.
2016, 17.
I would have argued. I thought 2017 was great for PlayStation.
Yeah, 2017 was great.
That was weirdly good, yeah.
But I didn't have my PlayStation throughout most of 2017.
Yeah, I know.
I only had it throughout half of 2016.
That's what I'm saying. I think PlayStation's on the up and up and again, because I had a very bad first few years PS4 for game library personally,
until Uncharted, but then Xbox came along and.
I mean, I'd argue even like,
sorry.
I'm not the biggest Uncharted guy personally, but I thought 2017 fantastic year for PlayStation, fantastic year for video games in general, in my opinion.
It's one of the best, yeah. It's comparable to 2007.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought 2017 was fantastic all throughout, and honestly, that's mostly PlayStation and Nintendo, and I'm trying to think of... Oh, and a lot of third-party games, obviously. That's
indie titles have really done good. Yeah.
It's
anyway,
the thing is, what Nintendo does really well is that they know gamers don't necessarily want the most true-to-life graphics and stuff like that. They want a game that runs smoothly. I think, and if you look outside of Nintendo as well, that's like a proven thing as well. Like, look at the difference between PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite Battle Royale. Like, Fortnite Battle Royale came out afterwards, and it's very cartoony in its style, and it's got better mechanics, got like a crafting element to it as well. And it's like, yeah, it's still the same basic idea of like you land on an island and you want to be the last person surviving on that island. but it's completely usurped Battlegrounds, and it's like, and yeah, it's just because it's a better game,
Yep,
and that's not what Nintendo does really well.
that's fair. Yeah, Nintendo, because Fortnite, if I'm correct, because it has the color thing, they have a lot more to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can build stuff in that.
Yeah,
game.
yeah, look at the crafting.
You can craft stuff, which makes it a lot more fun and engaging compared to Battleground, where you just like realistic. You are stuck in this position. Here's a gun. You can't really do much.
I mean, it's fun. I liked watching you people play PUBG. I've got like a mobile version that I like playing, but like Fortnite is like, it's just a better game.
Yeah,
That's fair. Fair. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on top of that. Except PlayerUnknown Battleground, when it came out, was a mess of a game.
Yeah.
and it still is on Xbox.
Still kind of is, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
When it first came out, it was literally a running simulator.
Exactly. I don't know. I didn't, and still kind of don't see the appeal in it. But that's just me.
I think they're a very fun style of game. I don't know what it is
so.
about it. Like I said, the one I've got on my phone, I really like playing it. It's made by it's a Chinese game. Like it's a very obvious knockoff.
He was bought. Oh, the one you're talking about on the phone, yeah.
Yeah, so it's called Rules of Survival. It's a very obvious knockoff of the one. Why am I getting
Product placement.
hashtag not sponsored? Yeah, it's a very obvious knockoff. Like literally down to like the fact that like, the whole thing about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was like the chicken dinner thing. Like when you won, it said winner chicken dinner, and people went mad over that. And then like, this new one I've got on my phone, like literally like you've got one of the weapons is a rubber chicken.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent.
Right,
Please take it away from me.
Let's move it on from games before half of our demographic that listen in to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Matt, what story do you have for us?
Aliens. It's not really a story. It's more like it's story time again. Story time with Matt.
That was such a good introduction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So last night, me and Nezar been at Fritz's playing Mario Kart, and I was on the way back, and I was looked up to the sky, nighttime sky, and I remembered something that I'd forgotten that happened a year ago, and that is I was out looking at the sky because it's nice and near East Midlands Airport, so I quite like watching the plane.
Yay.
When in the sky, pitch black sky, like a bright dot of light appeared, like literally like a pinhead on against like the black backdrop. It then stretched out in a line across the sky, and that line maintained until it got to a second point, and it all like at once just disappeared. And then afterwards I went back inside, I did some research, and I couldn't find any like space phenomena that.
When you watching, wait, wasn't that a meteor shower?
No, it was a different time of year.
There was a meteor shower recently though.
No, this is a while ago.
How long? When was this?
I was in second year, and I can't remember if it was before Christmas or after Christmas, but I did the research. I did research around it, like, because I knew that, because I remember, like, the first thing I checked was there a meteor shower or anything like that happening, and it wasn't.
Okay.
And I googled what meteor showers looked like, and it was nothing like that.
Okay.
It was insane. So that's a segue into the topic of aliens. What have we got?
To anyone who actually was around on the or who saw similar event to Matt, let us know. And if you are an expert on alienography, I'm going to call it that now. If you're an expert on that, let us know on our Facebook, on our Twitter. We have Tea Time Talk Facebook page that you can like. Wow, this is such. I'm sorry for the odd placement of like. But it's just, if anyone knows what Matt saw, or if anyone saw the same thing that Matt saw, if they genuinely want to let Matt know, then yeah, you could let us know on Facebook or not.
If you are a xenoarchaeologist.
A xenoarchaeologist.
That is the study of aliens.
Are you a xenophobe?
Bro.
I think he's just going insane, to be honest.
That's also very possible.
Matt's just losing his mind slowly.
This is a long time ago, and I haven't seen anything since. And
I mean, me and Fritz stayed at his place. You went a bit earlier, so obviously, if only I left at the same time.
No, this wasn't yesterday. This was way before.
Didn't you say that's after we played Mario?
No, that was what reminded him.
Because like it was something that I remember at the time I went mental about, like telling people. Because I was so convinced.
Where was I during this?
You might have been in the Netherlands. That might be why you didn't know about it.
Oh, sick memes.
You might have been mastery.
Sick memes.
You didn't have any like
Visions?
Substances before you saw it?
Did you go to any alcohol-related events before?
No, it's just a normal weekday night.
Did you 420 blaze it?
I did not.
I believe Matt on that one.
Yeah, and then I had completely forgotten about it. And then the last night I was walking by, I looked up at the sky, and I was like, yeah, this is like I remember that now. That was mental.
That's.
So I did some proper in-depth research. It's a second year, so I didn't have.
He did
much
more
work
research
this
than he
year.
did for his dissertation.
That's definitely not true. I think I've got a collective like probably several days of work into that.
Try months.
Well, yeah, probably is months. I mean, like if I put all the hours I've worked on my dissertation back to back, like probably a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
days. But
But-
yeah, sorry.
No, that's
again,
fair.
segue.
I mean, there's not much to say about it. We only have Matt's account.
Well, yeah, but
And me and Fritz analysing whether he's insane or not.
Oh no, he's definitely sane. I mean, he wouldn't do something like this unless he was doing it for the clickbait, you know.
once again, doing it for the gram now. I don't even have Instagram. so-
What do you think it was? You think it was an alien ship?
I don't see the things. I don't know because I googled like meteor showers, shooting stars, or it's pretty sure the same thing.
You
Like,
googled what? Sorry.
like meteor showers
And
and
no, I heard shootings. Like,
shooting stars.
Oh, thank God.
I googled different types of aircraft. Even like it's like what it looked like if the ISS passed over the sky, stuff like that, and there was just nothing.
Yeah.
It's like Nezar beatbox in the background. Like yeah, it was.
I guess we'll just put that under unidentified flying object.
Well, that's
Yeah, it is. You know what? By technicality, it's a UFO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there are many accounts of like things like this, like. But I want to know, like, what do you believe? Are you like the X-Files poster in the background? Do you want to believe?
What? That there are other things in the world?
No,
Or the
in
universe?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. To me, the universe is so infinitely large that I believe there must be something.
No,
else
I
out
believe that too. I've never. It's
There's-
weird. Like I believe there's something out there, but I've never believed anyone that's claimed
Yeah.
you've seen a ship. It's weird how I can think. I just don't think they'd be chilling around our atmosphere, you know?
there. I think there's no. I don't think we're going to see them in our lifetime, and we're probably not going to see them within the human race.
Yeah, but I definitely think there's something out there because I think, I don't know, mate. Like,
It's so big. There must be
Yeah,
something
exactly,
else. Someone must have like another perfect planet
even
to
if
live.
there's something not inside our universe, remember how many universes there are? You know,
That's if you believe in multiple
galaxies
universes.
rather. Galaxies.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
And it's like it's a very Earth.
I haven't used the word galaxy in a long time, so I kind of mixed up the two.
It's like a very Earth-centric viewpoint as well to think, oh well, if aliens must exist, but then they have to come to us as well.
No, they don't. They can just drive by us and not even do anything. They might even be able to communicate
If
with
you
us.
can find
I
a
don't
planet
even
with
think it was.
similar conditions to Earth, why can't you find a planet
Yeah.
with life?
Oh, also some cool history knowledge. Like one of the first things broadcast to space was a speech by Hitler.
Banter.
Oh, no, was it? Well, yes, because speech by Hitler are full of the bands.
Do it for the vine.
No, it's there's a cool fact for you.
So one of the first things that was broadcasted to potentially intellectual beings above our own was the speech by probably the most hated being on our planet,
Apart from Logan Paul.
apart from Logan.
No, okay, that's a joke.
I'll take it. He's
Yeah.
apparently making a comeback. He's probably going to come back on Wednesday, Logan
Oh,
Paul.
he will do.
Not Hitler, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Is going to come back on Wednesday, potentially.
Yeah,
I hope he
yeah.
doesn't, but you know.
But the way things like the way things are projected into space, like it after like a few like million miles, it becomes so spread out. Like there's literally it would just sound like static.
Let's talk about space.
Yeah.
What's
I
your
quite like space?
what's your view on space and the universe and the whole shebang?
It's a very interesting topic, I guess, but that's also a very broad question.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. I'm gonna try and relate this into some kind of question, but one of the interesting things that I found out recently was that there are more trees on Earth than there are stars in our. Is it galaxy
In
or?
more space, it's not a universe.
No, it's not in the universe. Hell no. Yeah,
I don't see why that wouldn't be true.
So apparently we have more than like 500 trillion trees or something. But there are like 200 billion stars. So there must.
I don't see why that wouldn't be true, mate.
It's shocking though. It's weird. It's again, the universe is so expansive. It's so big. You think that because of the distance and how far everything is, you'd think there'd be more of one than the other.
Yeah, but there's 7 billion people, and you need enough trees to give oxygen.
And there are
everyone.
5 billion bicycles in Beijing. No, there are 5 million
That's a
bicycles.
fact. That's not a fact. It's Kate Melua. Was that her?
Katie Melua.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Look,
think so. Go on.
my point is that you need enough trees to give oxygen to everyone, so there's got to be a lot of trees.
Unfortunately, those are being cut down, and we're suffering out here.
I mean, how bad is it though? Is it like? I always assume like when one gets cut down, another one gets grown somewhere else.
Yeah, but
so we're not really losing.
If it's one gets grown, how long is it going to take to grow?
As
question.
a species, we're in the last couple of years, we've moved into a point where we are now planting more trees than we are cutting down internationally.
But it's
So
going to
we're
take a
doing
long
okay.
time before
Yeah.
it's going to take any effect.
I mean, I saw we had this app, not app. It's this thing. It's a Google Maps thing. I don't know if it was Google Maps specifically, where you could change the time of year
Yeah.
and look at like what a place was like 20 years ago.
yeah.
So we got Manchester right. That's because that's where I come from, and we scrolled it back to the year 2000, and compared to 2017, in just 17 years, like 2000 looked a lot more green from the top. And like 2017, it was like, what happened? I was like, did we lose that much greenery in 17 years?
If you look at something like London, you just see like it's like a bacteria growing outwards. That's how brown it gets, and the greenery just disappears and disappears. It's scary. It's like I'm watching a film. But technically, to humans, we are a parasite. I mean, to planet Earth, we are a parasite. Anyone? No?
Yeah, no, right. Yeah. What's it? I'm googling something because like I've got.
Are you googling are humans parasites?
No, I've got another. I've got another space thing.
Another space thing. I like
can't-
space. What's space? Oh, there could hypothetically be a new planet in the solar system. This is according to maths, however, not necessarily that we've observed one. There's just that we're assuming that there's one about 700 astronomical units away from the sun, which is very, very far away. And so to put that in perspective, the furthest we've ever gotten from the sun, I think, is about 136 astronomical units so far. And that means that we haven't even seen the planet yet, but mathematically there should be one out there because it's messing with the tilt of the planets or the way that the planets move around the sun.
That's it. Got it.
What's up?
Yeah, the cool story again. Second part 2, story time with Matt.
Story time with Matt.
Yeah, I was in Florida 2 years ago, like September 2016. My parents took us for their 40th anniversary, something ridiculous like that.
Cool.
And yeah, while we were there, I went to Cape Canaveral, where the Kennedy Space Center is, and we saw the launch of OSIRIS-REx, which is, I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what it was doing, but it was it's essentially chasing an asteroid that's going to land on eventually.
Is it that big long one? No, it's not the big long one, is it? The one that that's because this year. That's this year. Don't mind. It's chasing an asteroid. What do you know the name of the asteroid?
I probably would have just seen. I probably would have seen the name of the asteroid about 2 seconds ago, but no, I don't know.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, I just thought that was something cool about space. That.
Oh, here's the question. Do you think we'll eventually be able to live in space or live on Mars? Let's say. Do you think we'll be able to live on Mars?
Or will we destroy ourselves as a
I
species?
think there's going to get a point where we'll probably have to start mining resources from other planets. I'd say once we start running out here.
It rains diamonds on Jupiter. Ooh, that really. Diamonds.
What a lovely day in Jupiter. Oh, it's raining.
You know what? I hate diamonds.
There's no point to them.
There's no point. Why do they cost so much? There's no point.
They look nice.
Now I remember something. Okay. Would you buy if you're getting married, are you going to get your person a diamond ring? Your fiance. Would you get them a diamond ring or would you get them something else? Because my viewpoint on this is if I'm getting engaged, I'm not buying my wife a diamond ring. I'm buying her either, it could be a ring that's related to the month that she was born, because they have like those things, that the certain rocks that are dedicated to the month that your fiance or your spouse was born. I would either get them that, or I just get them a normal ring. Like, I don't see the point of diamonds.
I mean,
The shiny nothing.
it's more of a, wanting something you can't have kind of mindset with human beings. They want what they can't get, and diamonds are really expensive, so they want it. It's that kind of logic.
Yeah, were you putting it to us as a hypothetical question? Or
Yeah, hypothetical.
Or are you asking me whether that's what I did?
No, I'm hypothetical. I'm not asking you whether that's what you did.
Well, I did. It's nice. It's a nice ring.
You bought your girlfriend a diamond ring?
Yeah.
Get out.
How pricey was it?
1,000.
It was his wage. Was it like assumption that it has to be like twice your wage or something?
I mean, you know what?
Three months
That to
wages,
be
isn't it?
fair, that shows love right there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
But you know what? Counterpoint: love is priceless. So.
Exactly. I wouldn't put a price on love.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a nice
I'm
ring.
sure. I mean, I'm not saying anything against you, mate. Don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm sure you can get, the same amount of something like what your thing was as a diamond ring. It depends on the sentiment, right?
Yeah.
And again, I feel like diamond is just a material that's been jacked up for no apparent reason. Like it's just.
I mean, it looks nice, mate.
Apparently our generation are not buying diamonds, and it's really pissing off the older generations because they're not making money off us because we're not buying diamonds.
Look, jewelry is jewelry, I guess, and diamonds. You know, they still look nice. That's
Shirley Bassey, calm down.
I don't really like. I don't get it though. I don't. The shine to them doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, I'd rather have a ruby.
Yeah.
They're nicer.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a better cut too.
I'm just thinking. Think about the amount of pick and mix you could buy for what I spent on that ring.
Is that really? Is actually?
Hey,
yes.
to put out there.
Yes.
Amber would have appreciated that much pick and mix.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I would have appreciated that much pick and mix.
Oh, you got to find someone who's going to buy you pick and mix instead of a ring, then.
Are you calling me a loner again?
No. I'm saying,
Are you shelling me out for being single again?
No, I'm
Mike?
saying I'm not going to spend that much pick and mix money on you.
I'm not asking you to.
I might get you some pick and mix at some point.
Don't buy. No, don't. Just your money is your money.
I feel obligated to now.
Why?
Buy me a
I'm
pick and
joking.
mix.
So yeah,
As
There we
long
go.
as it's halal.
That's very important.
Halal pick and mix.
Halal pick and mix.
Well, I
Wait,
mean, there's a lot of
so
stuff in
joking,
pick and
mate.
mix that don't even contain pork, mate.
Yeah.
Don't give me anything with pork. I'm fine.
Me too. Nothing. None of that pork shenanigans.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Fritz doesn't eat pork.
I don't
either.
understand why you don't eat pork.
His is more of a preference.
No. It's
No,
a
it's-
Christian thing as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's part of my Christian. It's part of my Christian faith that we don't consume pork.
Well, there you go, Matt.
There you
Don't
go.
give any of us pork.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna buy either of you pork. But you're missing out on bacon, which is like.
I don't care for bacon.
Mm.
It's just fattening
Well,
and bad.
But I understand. Like,
I know
I'm
you
not-
love the taste of it, but it's also -20 to your life expectancy.
If your life
That's
was an
okay.
RPG, bacon would be taking away life points. Like it
It's-
would have taken away hit points.
Yeah. It's okay because like you both know how I feel about old age in general.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I'm there with you, mate.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to get to the point where my voting and driving is obsolete in society.
Ooh.
You know, if you really don't want to, you don't want to reach old age, right? You know what you should do?
Cryogenically
You should go
freeze
on a
yourself at
full like
50.
protein diet, go gym, get as swole as you possibly can, like Dwayne the Rock
Star in the
Johnson.
next Star Wars.
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson swole.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because he's not going to live till an old man. Have you
No.
seen like his diet?
Oh, it's mad.
Yeah, exactly. Just do that. You'll look good, and then die in like your 50s.
You know what?
Or 60s.
That is a plan.
That is not a plan. No, don't do it. Live, enjoy your life. Don't go on a protein diet. That's
But he doesn't
dangerous.
want to be old, mate.
What?
Might as well live life while you're still, you know.
Well, you know what? I feel like at one point, like I'll have to stop myself from voting because it's like, you know what? I'm so out of touch with what people actually need in society.
Well, if you have children or grandchildren, you could talk to them and see, hey, you know what actually benefits you, what helps, so you can vote in favor of them.
What if society? What if we're taken over by a fascist society and they're like, well, voting doesn't happen. Then voting doesn't matter, then does it? So.
What are you thinking?
Well, so
on about, mate?
what if my grandchildren are fascists?
What if they're fascists?
I'm not going to support that political movement.
Well, then raise your own children better so that your grandchildren aren't like fascists.
Disclaimer: I'm not sold on the idea of kids at the minute. You know, not right. I mean, like I used to when I was younger. I was like, yeah, I want like.
I
want
think
kids.
everyone when they're younger wants kids, but I think our generation has been a lot of our generation's been put off it.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It's like because Amber, I've known Amber's little sister since she was born, and of course I've got a little nephew who was born last year. So it's kind of like, was it last year or the year before? Year before.
Look, mate.
So it's kind of like I've seen them at a young age. I'm like, you're really cute, but I don't want to look after you.
Mate, I think I always think people say I think people are going to change their mind when they get older though.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you'll hit like 35 and be like, you know, I don't want to be, you know, I've had my fun.
Even people like even our own parents were probably like that. There was when they were young, there was like, oh no, there's no point in having children. It's just like so much pressure and so much stress to deal with. But now, you know, we
Yeah, it's like because I'm young, I'm 21. I would hate to have like a kid now.
and
Yeah.
but
but like give it 15 years, I'd probably want a kid.
the thing is, having a kid now, because if we're thinking about having kids now, the issue is that we have to consider our financial situation.
Yeah.
We're in so much of a financial trouble that having a kid is not even on the agenda.
Yeah.
That's kinda-
But whereas when you're 35, you're like, okay, I'm a bit more safer now. It would be nice to have
Oh,
a
no,
kid and you're a bit more prepared for it.
We're never being financially stable. The old our previous generations have made sure of that.
Yeah, no, that's true. We will be in debt forever.
Unless
Unless you become a famous YouTuber who can pay for a house house instantly.
That's why that's why you have lots of children, because then it increases the chances of them one becoming a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a joke from Family Guy, but instead of I changed YouTuber from star in Hollywood.
Look, all I'm saying, mate, is you'll probably be 35.
Yeah.
You'll be married for at that point you'll be married for 14 years. You'll probably be like,
13 years.
You'll probably be like, I've kind of done, I guess, all I can do. I guess the next step is to have a kid.
Or I could buy dogs on holidays.
No.
You could.
I guess I'm in the minority then of being the people that says, I wouldn't mind having a kid at some point.
I wouldn't mind having a kid.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't mind it, but I'm like, it's not something that appeals to me. I mean, I don't. You're right. At some point, it will probably hit me. It's like, oh, you know what? Having a kid's a good idea, but like, they're just such a disruption.
Yeah, so it's part of the experience. You were a disruption.
I know.
You still are.
And I'm sorry to my parents about that every single day.
You never apologise to us.
What? Why do I apologise to you? Oh, what, you
just said you're still a disruption.
It's like disclaimer: Nezar and Fritz are my parents.
Come here, boy. I've been missing from your life for the past 21 years.
I think I'm the
Come here, boy. We're gonna beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Time for some African treatment right here.
I think it's funny. I think I'm the oldest of the three of us, aren't I?
No, when?
You're turning 22.
October the 6th.
July.
Yeah, but you're July this year. You're 20 now, aren't you?
No, he's
I'm 21.
Oh yeah, you're the year above, aren't you? But you're like, what did you do in that year?
What did I do in what year?
Like, you're a school year above us then.
Yeah, you're one school year above Matt.
Let's just say I made some bad choices in my A-levels. Let's just say that.
When did your birthday then?
December 23rd.
Alright, that's fair enough.
I'm 22 this year.
Yeah, I made some choices I didn't agree with at A-level.
That's fine, mate. That's fine.
I did French to A2. Don't do that. Don't do a language. I was warned before I chose my A-levels. If you want to get, unless you're doing languages at uni, and you will not get the grades, to get onto a different course, essentially because no one does that well in languages because they are so hard. So that's why language courses have lower grade boundaries.
Right.
Lower grade requirements for unis. So it's like, unless you're wanting to do a language at uni, don't do it. But I was like, you know what? I'm picking my ASs. I'll do French and Spanish, and I have to do one of them at A-level.
Oh yeah. What day's your birthday anyway?
I'm gonna keep that private.
Okay. Well, how about your horoscope?
Cancer.
Okay. Cool.
That's not surprising.
But yeah, there's that.
Cancerian. Doesn't that make you the same as Ruben?
I hope not.
I think you're both Cancer, mate.
Well,
Wow.
thanks, Nezar.
Wow.
Thank you very much. We're both Cancer.
Oh god.
Oh, wow,
That's
it's true.
funny.
It's just,
And on that bombshell.
It's 25 to 4. Wow.
What?
It's 25 to 4. That went really quickly.
Well, we did have it's chill section, so
Yeah,
it's
it's a general chat. This is what we talk about. This is like we talk about this kind of stuff in normal life, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, normal life, it tends to go a bit further down the hill, but hey.
Also, one more thing on the kid thing. Remember, there is some hormonal love towards your own kids, isn't there?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe I'm just filled with them right now.
Yeah.
Having
It's
said
like you
that-
can hate other kids, but you'll love your own.
Oh, your own kids will be the thing. Your own having your own kids is like, bam.
Eli.
I'm looking forward to
this
having
is
it.
it.
I'm not. I don't know if I'd say I'm looking forward to it, but one of the most fun things are going to be just to mess with them.
So
Play the Nintendo Labo with them.
Yeah.
if I have a son, I'd totally be called Eli. Eli and Ezra if I have two.
Eli and Ezra.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you name? So you're naming your children Eli and Ezra. Was that boys' names, right?
Yeah.
What about girls' names?
Well, I don't know. We haven't really
I think Amber is probably listening to the show.
No, she's not. She's doing work.
Oh,
You're not
okay.
going to do the thing where you name after yourself, right?
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
Matt died in the second.
I've always hated that. I don't mind. You know what? Weirdly enough, though, I don't mind naming after parents. But I just don't like naming after me.
I would not
personally.
name my child after my dad.
I wouldn't mind personally.
Neil, baby Neil.
Baby
No.
Neil, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, that's quite cute. One too.
Yeah,
Baby Lynn.
and you wouldn't have to be like, oh, Junior, because it's
Junior.
It's not your. Usually you give
Sounds
Junior
like
to when he's named the same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to do that. That'd be good. I wouldn't mind naming after my parents.
I'm thinking about my mum's name. That could work, but again, that's.
I mean, my first kid's name gonna be named Josef Krofcheski.
Hey.
Well, I'm going to name my kids after my parents,
I'm
so
gonna name
therefore they're
Phil
going to be called
Swift.
Fritz and Nezar.
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot where his parents are. Do we?
Yay, another kid that's named Fritz.
It's a cool name.
What
It's a pretty cool name. I haven't heard it before.
Um,
Then again, you haven't heard my name before.
Fritz Hall. No, that was Fitz Hall. No, it was a different person.
Fritz
A
Cashew.
footballer.
Why is suddenly the names becoming Fritz? Stop. That's not what would you name your kids? Save me.
I just told you, Josef Krofcheski.
What's that from?
It's just a name. It's a name I really like.
Yeah. It's like, it's like, why did I call him Phil Swift or like Ben Tiger? Sometimes why can't it be like
Don't
Joseph
question
Krakrewski?
why my second name's on that.
Joseph Krakrewski, slap that.
Filthy Frank Dryden. That's a great name.
Filthy Frank Dryden, wow. Oh, we're going to see such a rise of people being named after YouTubers.
Yeah. I keep
Little Logan Paul.
I keep banging my head on the microphone.
Beautiful.
Don't know why. Don't know what I'm doing myself. Yeah. The thing is, because Paul's his first name as well, so it fits. Oh, that's terrible.
Paul.
Little Logan Paul.
Paul. Little Jake Paul.
Wow.
Yeah, Paul is a first name, isn't it? That's a weird second name. Then again, have you ever heard my name before?
I don't even know how to pronounce your name.
Good. Then you should never learn. And you will never learn.
Lel.
It's like what was it? Kashua?
That's decent. That's a decent pronunciation of it. Kashua.
Kashua. Yeah. Go.
Decent pronunciation.
Cool.
I get that a lot though.
Cashua.
Yeah.
I can knock an ad,
Cashew outside, how about that?
Excuse me?
That was dead. Dead memes. Dead memes.
That is a dead meme. Right, shall we end it there?
Yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll go on to.
And on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell of a dead meme, thank you so much for listening. Hope you had a good time. Let us know what you think of the show on our Facebook and on Twitter. We have a Facebook group. It's just Tea Time Talk. If you want to contact us or let us know anything. If you have any news stories you want to tell us about, do that as well.
Hey guys, you know what? One more thing before we end it. Yeah. I know you've been voting me. I was voted #1 most controversial member. Okay, let me fight against that. Last week I was probably
silence.
He tries to silence me. This is the kind of thing we don't.
Welcome to Google. We silence opinions that we don't agree with.
Yeah, we come off as like we're friends, or we can say what we want. This is a dictatorship. I'm not allowed to say what I want. Free speech. Hear me out. Last week, you two were way more controversial than me.
Yeah, that's just 1 week out of all the weeks we've been on.
But why was I voted #1? Makes no sense.
The thing is still going on. It might not be controversial at the end of the...
Kush doesn't listen to our show and he voted me for no reason.
Well, he knows you as a person. That's probably why.
I was saying Chloe voted you most controversial as well.
Yeah, Chloe did as well.
But she
Didn't
voted...
Justin vote me as well?
No, you've only got 2. But she voted me as the best host of this show.
Who's the best... Wait, who's the best host in general?
It's definitely you.
I had no votes for best host. And neither does Ruben.
Yeah, they both got one now.
But from who?
I don't know.
Matt.
I didn't check. I didn't vote for anyone.
I didn't vote for myself.
You've got 3.
From what? For what?
For best host.
From who?
I don't know. People who are obviously deaf. Boom. This is what it's like playing Mario Kart with us. Oh, I don't understand why.
You know what? I didn't want #1 best host. I'm fine with that.
That's an L. That's an L. That's a genuine L I'm going to have to take.
I knew I wasn't going to beat Fritz, but I definitely don't deserve #1 most controversial. That makes 0 sense.
Wow, that hurt my soul.
I'm really sorry. I don't mean that.
That genuinely hurt.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you bloody well do.
No, Fritz isn't bad. That sounded really sarcastic.
And on that bombshell, I think congratulations to Nezar on his award for most controversial.
Most controversial member.
The poll
Look back on any of our old ones. I was not the most controversial.
The poll is still going, so if you do want to vote, please do so on our Facebook group. Commiserations to Fritz for winning best host, although the poll is still going on.
There was no doubt there, mate.
I don't know how that's still happening, but hey, sick memes.
Most savage one, because I feel like I'd win that.
Most savage?
Yeah.
Just be lucky you're still here, Matt.
I know.
Anyway,
really
join us next week where it's just Fritz and Nezar.
Only Fritz. Just Fritz.
And I'm in some ditch somewhere.
Yeah, then we lose members each time. So last week, this week we have no Ruben, then no Matt, then no me. It's just the Fritz show.
Remember that. Anyway, thank you.
Liked it.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Oh God.
One more thing.
Kakarot.
How about we put up a poll for best looking member? How about we do that?
Oh, just because you could win, just so you can sit on your tiny scrawny back end and win.
Fritz would win that.
No, I wouldn't, and I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't.
Nah, you good looking guy.
I know I wouldn't.
I think I'm a pretty good looking guy.
Oh, and on that bombshell, I'm actually ending it now. 3, 2, 1, bye.
Oh, I love it. That was the best way to end it.